If you are a busy professional working for the food or food equipment industry, or if you are an academic doing scientific research on food safety related topics, why would you join one of the EHEDG working groups? This question will today be answered by two EHEDG chairmen. Their names are Bengt Eliasson, chairman of the EHEDG working group Heat Treatment.
Hello, Rob. Nice to see you.
And Olivier Couraud, chairman of the EHEDG working group Meat Processing.
Hi, Rob. I'm here.
Olivier, why did you initially decide to chair this EHEDG working group, Meat Processing?
Well, I work for meat industry for more than 20 years, so I feel very concerned with all matters about food safety, and especially hygienic design. So when the first meat processing working group was formed, I joined naturally it, and I led two subgroups dedicated on different processing steps. And there was the pandemic. all of you knows about what is the COVID life. Now we are restarting this working group. So I accepted to become the chairman, and with the ambition to finalize all the great job we have already done with each working group member. And I really trust that with this working group will contribute to improve food safety and help meat companies in that way.
Same question for you, Bengt.
Yeah, Rob, it actually started by reading the EHEDG guidelines, document 1 and 6. I could see that they were quite old, and there was a need for an update, and they were really outdated. So what I did, I contacted EHEDG and proposed for them to make a review. So that was sort of start of this work, and then in return I got the request if I could lead the work group to update the documents. And if you have a view that it can be improved, I think you need to take the responsibility also to do your part of the work. So that was the starting point.
Well, that sounds very noble of you, gentlemen, but what's in it for you on a professional level, and what's in it for your companies, for your employers that send you off and that decide to spend and contribute billable hours to these EHEDG working groups?
First of all, for me, it's EHEDG participating with working group is the opportunity to grow network and to share knowledge, and that is very important. Because all the members of working group they have a lot of knowledge to share. Each contact is very great. Every discussion is very interesting. As you know, in different working groups, you can take contacts with food producers, equipment manufacturers, institute members, providers. So this is very important to share knowledge all together. This is very important for me and for my job also, because I'm an expert in food safety, and it's true that EHEDG gives this possibility to share best practices with all these kind of people. And EHEDG gives also us the possibility to write guidelines, to write all these best practices into guidelines that can be used in the whole food industry.
We don't want to be a bystander to food safety work, hygienic design. We want to be in the center of the development when it comes to hygienic design and engineering. And so that's very clear. Yes, it's an interest for us to join the work and to learn from it. And for me personally, I don't really see any similar network globally where you can take part of this sort of expert network and gain access to that much knowledge. It's nothing similar to EHEDG when it comes to hygienic design and engineering and food safety.
Well, the goal is clear. You are to develop new guidelines, and these guidelines, the contents of the guidelines, need to be agreed upon by all the members of your working groups. I can imagine that this leads to sometimes quite fierce discussions. Can you give us an example of what topics you discuss within your working groups and how that plays out?
For instance, into a meat working group, we identified with some members weaknesses in hygienic design for some equipments, and we tried to think about different ways to mitigate the issues, to replace equipments or to modify equipments in order to remove what affects food safety. So this is important because EH is a place where you can share all this reflection with many different persons of different activities, and you can find solution or can imagine the solution that will come into a plants in many years.
We have a lot of quite deep discussions where we try to, drill down into really the core of food safety when it comes to hygienic design and engineering. And it's a lot of interesting discussions, with, several hundred years of experience combined in my working group. Especially, I remember some of the discussions we had with Huub Leileved, which is a very senior member. He's left the working group now, but his contribution was very valuable for document 1 and 6. And some of the scientific work that he has done, really drilling down into, the old truth, and sometimes see that it doesn't really apply. So really this science-based approach where they actually have done tests to see what works and what doesn't work. That's been really interesting to hear.
Finally, I understand that due to people moving on, you have some open spots in your working groups. So please take the opportunity, gentlemen, both of you, to invite potential contributors to future guidelines to join your EHEDG working groups.
If you can see this video, if this is a reason, one of the reasons is that you are interested in hygienic design and food safety. If you don't really know how to go further in hygienic design, don't hesitate to participate. You have a lot of knowledge you can share with experts, as I said before, and all your contribution will help to write the references guidelines of tomorrow. So don't hesitate to join EHEDG. EHEDG's community is very kind, and the EHEDG community will help you to add your contribution and to improve your knowledge.
I can only agree with Olivier in what he's saying here, and but maybe on top of that, I would also like to invite younger people that might not have 20, 30, 40 years experience to the working groups, to the EHEDG network of experts. And you don't need to be, an expert with a very long experience. I think what we need to do also as an organization is to invite younger people, the EHEDG future experts. They need to get involved, and we need to take them into the working group. So I really encourage you to contact EHEDG, to contact the work group chairs, and get involved. It can be on a temporary basis as well, so it doesn't have to be as a permanent member. So please contact us.